The Spurs take on the New York Knicks tonight in Las Vegas for the 2025 NBA Cup Finals Championship. Let's preview the game.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Locked On Spurs. We're the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Campos 5 San Antonio. Glad to have y'all back. Hope y'all are enjoying your day. And as always, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Campos 5 Plus app, YouTube. Become an everydayer. Yes, we love that you come here every single day to Locked On Spurs. Catch up on all things silver and black. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com. Place your NFL live bets all season long. Do that ASAP. What are we talking about today? As you see on your screen, if you're watching on YouTube, today is the day, 2025 NBA Cup Finals. Spurs, Knicks. They're going to play each other tonight. Winner take all. Yeah, we're going to be a great, great game. Fitting the last game for the Spurs win. Hopefully it's just as thrilling. But we're going to preview tonight's game. Look at the Knicks. Look at the Spurs. Give predictions. And then to wrap up the show, we're going to be asking the big question. After beating the Thunder and a few other solid teams along the way, are the Spurs for real? We're going to answer that question in just a few seconds. We're going to bring in our guest, Mr. Rudy Campos of Box Score Studio. Follow him on X at Box Score Studio right now. And Rudy, Spurs Knicks, we're going to get to it in just a few seconds, all right? But your quick thoughts. Were you surprised the Spurs beat the Thunder in the West Semis NBA Cup game?
I'm going to say flat out, not really, because if you had seen lately that the way that the Spurs were playing, they've ramped up their defense. You've seen the guard play just excel. I'm going to get into Devin Vassell later on, but, his game has come up. This is the first time we've seen a healthy Spurs squad, and I'd say a full roster, even though Victor didn't play a whole bunch of minutes. He was on a minutes restriction. It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, they when they are healthy, they are top to bottom, able to match up with OKC. Now, we always thought, okay, it's more experience here than it is for against OKC, and it just showed that we're going to get the rematch here on Christmas Day. So, would it surprise me to see another close game? But yeah, I actually had them winning by 6, the Spurs over OKC. But yeah, it didn't really surprise me at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I said on the Locked On Spurs Roundtable Squad show with the guys that I'm not that. Well, first of all three of us, myself, Casey, and Devin, we all agreed that all three of us would not be surprised if the Spurs beat the Thunder, but we did agree that maybe the national media would be surprised, and I think they were. I'm with you. I was not surprised. I was surprised they got the win, but I was a little surprised that. Let me rephrase that. I was not surprised they got the win, nor was I surprised it was close. I predicted it was going to be super, super close, kind of a fight, a war, instant classic, and it was that, an instant classic. The Spurs got punched in the face in that first period, but they punched right back. But otherwise, I bring it up because we're going to be talking about the Spurs after the beating OKC Thunder, the mighty Thunder. I mean, by the way, was Stephon Castle talking a little mess too when he said, yeah, y'all say this team is unbeatable, but yeah, so are we. That's the mindset we're having.
Should be giving locker room, for bulletin board material,
know, right?
In the season, right?
Well, because they play the Thunder soon, right? Like in a few days.
Christmas Day.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we're talking about the Spurs in a bit, but obviously, we look at the Knicks first. Like, good on the Spurs. Just wanted to get your quick thoughts on the big game. Spurs fans are just beaming over the win. But let's get into the game tonight. Spurs and Knicks NBA Cup Finals 2025. One team is going to walk away with that trophy and a lot of cash in everybody's pocket tonight. Hopefully the Spurs are going to party like it's 1999, though. I hope they do. Beating the Knicks again in some sort of title format. For y'all kids don't remember, the Spurs' first title was against the Knicks in 1999. Rudy, right off the bat, he starts with Jalen Brunson, right? That's going to be the key for the Spurs, right?
Yeah, continuing to keep Jalen Brunson contained is probably number one on Mitch Johnson's board right there. Also, let's not, it's like they always say, there's a guy out there that can kill the Spurs left and right. That's Mikal Bridges. I mean, if he gets going and he gets hot, especially from, on the side of the 3-point range, off the corners, it's almost impossible for him to miss there if he's hitting it left and right. So Mikal Bridges is the guy they got to really look out for. But coming off of an OKC win, going into the Knicks win, you've got to wonder, is there going to be some kind of, let down in a way only, and I only say that only because it's a very big moral victory for the Spurs to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. But again, Knicks wise, it's Brunson, it's Bridges, it's keeping Karl-Anthony Towns off the boards. Something that the Spurs have relatively been able to do, especially lately against teams. It's just that defensive presence. I expect them to shoot up to the top of the league here in the next couple of weeks when it comes to defense efficiency.
Yeah, exactly. Well, going back to Brunson though. He's been scoring like almost at will right now. I think he had a 40 in the semis against the Magic and just dropping 30 plus or more points lately, like so many games in a row. He is a handful. Stephon Castle, the rest of the perimeter defenders, even interior defenders have to watch for him hitting that paint. You mentioned Cat. That's another guy you got to worry about. I think the Cat and Wemby matchup is going to be fun to watch. You got Cat. Elite spacing. I mean, I don't think he gets enough credit for his ability to knock down the three. He can remember he was in a 3-point contest.
He won a 3-point contest,
and he won the 3-point contest. So I think that's going to pose a problem for the Spurs, for Wemby or Cornet if they switch off on him. He can definitely attack the rim, create spacing. They're going to try to get Cornet and Wemby or whoever's defending them in foul trouble. I mean, Cat is just a beast in the paint there. OG Anunoby, Miles, Mikal Bridges, you mentioned. Josh Hart. That's some defense right there, isn't it?
That's some good defensive presence by the New York Knicks. And it almost seems like maybe you would think the Knicks match up really well with the Spurs, and they actually do. I mean, they actually really match up well. I think where the Knicks, what they really lack is depth on the bench. And as of right now, if you're looking at San Antonio, when you've got guys like Jeremy Sohan and Carter Bryant getting DMPs, you can tell that your bench is really, really, really deep. You can go 10, 11 men deep, which is good. Yeah. And that's something that a lot of teams in the NBA don't have the benefit of. I think that's where the difference is between the Knicks and Spurs. But yeah, with the Knicks, starts with Brunson and Cat. It's just basically, fighting through their defense because they are one of the better defenders and defense teams in the league. So just making it tough for them, to score on the offensive side and giving them a lot of fits on defense.
Yeah, and they can knock down the shot. Looking at that game versus Orlando, the Knicks connected on 61% shooting against Orlando and their defense. So they were on one that game. So do not take this New York team lightly, Spurs. This is a team that has some good defenders that we just highlighted right now, some good offensive players, Cat and Brunson. It should be another exciting game. I'm hoping it's another exciting game. But the Knicks, they're just a scrappy team. They're very scrappy. Even Vegas has them as beating the Spurs. They're a favorite by 2.5 right now. What do you think about that? You think that's just, again, kind of a slide of the Spurs, considering they just beat the West leading Thunder?
So I think what Vegas is looking at is the fact of what I just mentioned a little while ago, coming off a really big win over OKC. Maybe they're expecting the Spurs to have a little bit of a letdown going into against the Knicks here. I don't see it happening, but again, it's not a huge. I don't think the spread was very huge anyway. It's almost technically like a pick'em, I think is what it is. So, like I said, I think it's just more of the fact that they're coming off of a good win, a big win. They may feel there may be a little bit of a letdown. As of right now, there's really no injuries to report. There's nothing like that. Both teams should be coming in relatively healthy. So who knows? Vegas knows all and is all. So I don't know what they're possibly thinking. Maybe they think the minute restriction that Victor is having may have an effect on the game itself. We have no idea, but I really wouldn't look at Vegas's way this way. I would probably end up going, the route of the Spurs.
Yeah, I'm actually going against Vegas right now. We're into the Spurs just a bit, but I think the Spurs are having, full of confidence right now. I don't think the Spurs are gonna, get the L, but more of that in a bit. But overall, I mean, again, this Knicks team is tough. They're a tough out. You have pretty much offense versus defense. The Knicks offense is potent. Spurs defense is now potent. now that Wemby is back. During the 12 games that the Spurs did not have Wemby, they mainly did with offense. They were beating teams like that. Their defensive numbers plummeted, but again, more on that later. You got size and spacing, Cat and Wemby. I think that's going to be a good matchup, as I mentioned. You got experience versus youth. Knicks had a long playoff run. They have a playoff experience. They have that pressure mentality they can deal with. Spurs are just getting it, a little taste of it in the NBA Cup tournament. Momentum. Yeah. Both teams have the momentum right now. Spurs just did the unthinkable. They beat the mighty Thunder and they advance. The Knicks just wasted Orlando and they advance. So it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be fun. But you know what? Let's take a break. Let's look at the Spurs side now. What do the Spurs got to do to get that win in Las Vegas and become the new NBA Cup champions? More of that, just a few seconds. NFL seasons move fast, and one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is the best way when games start to shift. A receiver gets hot, defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads, money lines adjust instantly, player props update as guys heat up. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, so can you. Thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. You already live your team every day. Now take it up a level and go ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club today and get Locked On Spurs with no interruptions, members only, Discord access, and so much more, all for just $5 a month or $50 a year. Check the link in the show notes to learn more. During the break, Rudy was advocating that the Spurs better hang a cup banner at the Frost, right, Rudy?
Absolutely not. I'm if I have to accept that the NBA Cup is a thing throughout the season, I don't want a banner. It's not. Yeah, it's a cup, right? It's an NBA Cup. Just put it in a trophy case out in the lobby somewhere in the arena. That's all you need.
See, this is where I think they need like a separate banner to work for other like team accolades, the division titles, maybe now the cup titles. We'll see when that happens. But nevertheless, we are back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Mr. Rudy Campos of Box Score Studio. You see him on the screen right there. Make sure to follow on X at Box Score Studio. We're looking at tonight's matchup, Spurs-Knicks. We just looked at the Knicks a little while ago. Let's look at the Spurs now. Riding high. They are riding high. Stephon Castle talking a little bit of mess after the game, saying, yeah, y'all said that team is unbeatable, but yeah, we have the same mindset. We're unbeatable too. They took the punch from OKC in that first period. I got to be honest, Rudy. After that first period was over, I said, oh, good Lord, here we go. It's going to be another OKC route. I was like, not again. But good on the Spurs for rallying and keeping it tight. And they took the win and they advance. For San Antonio, it begins and ends with Wemby. He is back. As of this recording, there's no news on whether he's going to be in a minutes restriction or not. But were you surprised to see him come off the bench to start, when his return to the court?
I'm not going to lie. I'm saying, yeah, I expected him to play at any time in the first quarter. I expected him to come in maybe with 5-6 minutes to go in the first quarter, finish out that first quarter. I was really surprised to see him walk through like Thanos does in the Avengers into the second quarter. But I mentioned this on the Sports Answer that I do on Sundays, and I asked Jacob Canziano, I said, is it me or do you have to applaud the coaching staff, especially Mitch Johnson, because for a player on minutes restriction, they played that restriction perfectly. He was in the most
they backloaded, which are smart. Yeah,
exactly. He was there when it counted. He was there when they needed him. Didn't have to worry about minutes or anything. I think they did it fantastic. They did an amazing job. But I was surprised he didn't play in the first quarter. But seeing the outcome of the game, seeing how they did it, I loved it. I loved every part of it.
Absolutely. Again, talk about confidence. En route to the NBA Cup Finals, the Spurs had to beat the Nuggets in their gym, the Lakers in their gym, and seemingly do the impossible by beating the OKC Thunder in Las Vegas. And they did that. They earned their spot tonight for the NBA Cup title. There was no doubt about that. And by the way, more on that in just a few minutes. So they won West Group C convincingly. We talked about that, who they had to beat on the road here. Wemby coming back, just dropping some numbers, the points, double figure scoring, 9 rebounds, and just 21 minutes, ending OKC 16-game winning streak. You look also at the Slash brothers, Castle and Harper and Fox as well. Throw them in there as well. They just eviscerated the Thunder defense. They were just getting in the rim. Castle did a 360 layup. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's incredible. Fox, although a slow start, came alive, scored in double figures as the game went on. Harper was being Harper. I got that as a key to tonight's win. Yes, I know Wemby is there, and he's a huge factor, and all the players were saying he was a big reason why they won versus OKC. But if they can pressure the Knicks defenders from Anunoby, Hart, Bridges, I think it's going to begin with the 3 guards that the Spurs have. What do you think?
Absolutely. Those guards, they've got to continue to play very well. I mean, you saw Castle and Fox, they had 20 each in that game against OKC. Harper only had 8, but where Harper made the difference was he turned back the clock and was his dad for a little while there, Ron Harper, because he was just playing magnificent defense against OKC, making it very tough for their guards to get to the basket and score. It starts on the defensive side for the Spurs. You saw what they did to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, the reason why they are sitting as the best team in the league right now is because they play a beautiful game. If the Spurs fans remember, they move the ball around. They continue to pass the ball till they get to the open guy, get an open jump shot. I understand Shea gets away with a lot of stuff. A lot of people say he does, but you know what? Until they fix that, you can't really complain about it. But what the Spurs did was they limited that from OKC. And what they did was they turned OKC into what they didn't want to be, and that was a 1v1 team. You saw a lot of Jalen Williams taking one-on-one, trying to get to the basket, trying to make something happen. They were dribbling the air out of the ball, which is something OKC is not comfortable with, and that's what the Spurs need to do against the Knicks. Just make it tough on the defensive side for them because, let's be real, Brunson, we've seen him have great games, but we've also seen him have just as many bad games and bad shooting nights. So taking them out of their groove early, that's very important for San Antonio. I agree with you on the keys for that. For me, it's just one person, Julian Champagny, I think. Victor's going to bring it. The guards are going to bring it. Julian Champagny, I think he's going to have a really good game against the Knicks. He's going to continue that great play that he's brought in.
Hey, he's taking out his hometown team, man. That's where he was born and raised. Yep.
Exactly. So, I mean, a lot is on the line here for Julian, but he's been playing really good. Him and Keldon, I love the picture you have up there. Both of these guys have brought that nastiness that you like to see off the bench for the Spurs. I think I circled Julian a little more. If he can continue to knock down some threes, we can continue just do the little things that we're seeing him do. I think the Spurs can easily coast on this win. You look at guys like Devin Vassell.
He says.
Yeah, even like Devin Vassell, just continue the hot shooting. But overall, I mean, the defense is where it's got to start. I want to get real quick. On your YouTube, you had a comment about a fan getting upset at me about, De'Aaron Fox being the point guard of my decision, having Steph Castle and Dylan Harper as the off guards. Yeah. Well, there's a reason why I said that, and it was answered the other night, wasn't it? When they called Castle and Harper the Slash brothers. Why? Because they get to the basket. They are better off the ball right now, obviously. That's why you put the ball in De'Aaron Fox's hand. Just give a quick shout out to the guy that left that comment who thinks I don't know basketball. Shout out to you.
Yeah. That seems to be always the go-to comeback, right? You don't know basketball. You don't know basketball.
Yeah,
anything. Yeah, I just left that to anything, and all the haters do that. But keeping again, focused with the Spurs right now. Again, the momentum. We're gonna get into them in just more in depth about their place in the NBA right now. But I think momentum is on their side. I think beating the Thunder is yes, the Knicks are confident. They slaughtered they just beat Orlando pretty good. But for the Spurs to take on a team that everybody thought was invincible. I mean, leading up to the game, I was watching a lot of sports shows when it came to NBA Cup, Spurs Thunder. They would look at their sheets and their notes, and they'd be like, I don't see any weaknesses in the Thunder. I don't see any weak. And this team is unbeatable, but the Spurs did it. They beat them. And you got Shea. He had a good night, but why did it not feel like that was a Shea thumbprint on the game, right? It felt like, yeah, he was doing his thing, but man, the Spurs made him work, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, he scored 29 points in that game, but it kind of goes back to what we said. He became a 1v1 type of player, and as good of a player as he is, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander seems to be a lot better when he has that floor opened up, the space is there. People are moving. He's to be able to make a pass, come off of a screen. You know, he does a lot of it's almost like that Rip Hamilton from back in the days with Detroit, how he comes off screens. He can get his jump shot. He can create a little bit of space to get his own shot. But what the Spurs did was they made that entire team a 1v1 team. And when they can't move the ball, you see exactly what happens. They get frustrated. They start to panic when the calls don't go their way. Alex Caruso got upset. You know, you saw Hardenstein get upset. When the calls don't go their way, they tend to panic and the anxiety kicks up. So good job on the Spurs.
And you also got to tip your cap to this guy who really, really did
it's
a good job on defending SGA. I mean, go ahead. Yeah, you've been wanting to talk about him.
I just want to say I'm gonna talk about it on Box Score Studio, and I would love for you to talk about with Devin and Casey as well. You know, Devin has been a in the doghouse type of player for many years because of Spurs fans. Spurs fans have never seen it. And to be honest, when he came in, I remember myself and Derek Gervin said, you know, he could literally be another Scottie Pippen, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it. And I told Derek, I said, man, I think he hit his ceiling. I don't think we're going to get any better than what we're seeing out of Devin. The thing I would love y'all to talk about, and even fans out there, is this. Because there's no more pop system, does Devin fit Mitch's system better?
Good idea.
And that is the reason why he is playing at this next tier. I think so. I mean, I think under pop system, Devin just didn't fit. But now under a Mitch Johnson-led team, you can tell he's getting in certain spots. He looks more comfortable shooting the ball. He's a lot more efficient. I mean, could it be the coaching move, you know, Pop gone, Mitch here? Now do you see the emergence of Devin Vassell? And then look at the other side. Jeremy Sohan was always getting that time with Pop. Now he's not getting it so much under Mitch. So coaching, that's really big for the Spurs this year.
Exactly. Yeah, 23 points in the win versus OKC. Led the team in that department. So, yeah, he's been looking phenomenal today. And he's also going to be a very big key. Say what you will about Wemby getting his and Castle and Fox getting his. But, again, Devin Vassell to lead the team with other big names on the roster was key. And here's the thing. The Spurs got to flex. One thing they have, and you mentioned it in the first segment, that the Knicks don't have, is that roster depth. I mean, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. I think that's ultimately is going to upend the Knicks. It's just they can't contend with the wave after wave of depth that the Spurs are going to throw at them. You know, so maybe this is where they wish Tibbs was still around, where they could just play people until the wheels fall off. But again, you know, I think the depth is going to really be key for the Spurs, as well as the Slash brothers. Of course, Wemby's going to be Wemby. That Wemby Cat matchup's going to be fun to watch. But we know what Wemby's going to do. He's going to do his thing, but he's going to need help. And this team has enough talent around him to give him help and then some. So it should be a good game tonight. Before we hit the break, Rudy, I got the Spurs in a win over the Knicks. And sorry, Knicks, make it 2 times in a row. We stopped y'all from getting some sort of trophy. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with the hot streak right now. I'm going to the San Antonio Spurs. I actually think they win by about 8 or 9. So I'm going with the Spurs.
All right. I'm going a little wider margin. I'm going to go by 10 or 12. I think that
it's a championship game. It's going to be a lot closer, I think, than people may give it credit then.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. And I'm just looking at that depth. Right. I think that depth is just going to overwhelm New York, and it's just going to gas them out as the game goes on. But hey, what do y'all think about tonight's game? Spurs Knicks 2025 NBA Cup Finals. Who do you got winning? What are some keys to the game? What do we got to look at for the Knicks? What do we got to look at for the Spurs? And let Rudy know on X at Box Score Studio. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs. When we get back, we're going to ask a big question after beating the Thunder. Are the Spurs for real? Talk about that coming up next right here on Locked On Spurs. When Skims announced that they're making underwear for men, the reaction made perfect sense. People have been talking about Skims comfort for years. Most guys, though, stick to whatever they've been buying since college. The same fits, the same waistbands, and that roll, and a whole lot of settling. Hey, Skims Men's changes that. One upgrade, and it's obvious why everyone's been talking. But once you'll try Skims Men's underwear, look, you're going to get the hype immediately. Hey, they're designed to feel good, fit right, and actually stay put. No slipping, no sagging, no adjusting, just genuinely great underwear that makes you feel comfortable and confident. My favorite pair, well, gotta be the Cotton 5. Yeah, they got so much, from the Stretch 5 to the Cotton 3, Stretch 3, Boxer Brief, they got it all. What stood out right away was the fit in the fabric, soft, supportive, and comfortable all day. They don't ride up, they don't lose their shape, they hit exactly where they're supposed to on the thigh. And honestly, I didn't expect underwear to be a game changer, but Skims completely surprised me. Shop Skims Men right now at skims.com. And when you place your order, choose podcast in the post-purchase survey and select our show from the drop-down to let them know that we sent you. Plus, the Skims holiday shop is open. So if you're looking for the perfect gift this season, Skims has you covered. The holidays always show up faster than we expect, and if you're still putting together gifts, last-minute decor, or getting your home ready for guests, Wayfair has you covered. Whether you need a quick room refresh, new bedding, or those final season touches, Wayfair makes it easy to get what you need fast. Wayfair truly is your one-stop shop for everything at home with decor, furniture, kitchen, essentials, and gifts for every style, every budget, all delivered quickly and easily. Hey, their selection is huge. Bedding, decor, kitchen gear, kids' rooms, updates. You're going to be able to find everything in one place. It's so easy. It's going to shop by style. It helps you pick pieces that actually fit your home instead of guessing. No massive delivery fees, no stress. Just go to Wayfair. It's the best way to get your holiday home ready without running around to different stores. Get last minute hosting, essentials, gifts for all your loved ones, and decor to celebrate the holiday for way less. Head to Wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. One thing is for real that Rudy will always bring his A game equals getting called out on the Locked On Spurs fan comment section. But he is Mr. Rudy Campos. I am Jeff Garcia, and we're talking about your silver and black. And after beating the Thunder, everybody, not just the Thunder, Rudy, they beating the Nuggets, they beating the Lakers, they beating the Rockets, they beating the list goes on and on. They went into Orlando and beat the Magic on the road. I thought that was going to be a loss on the record right now, but no, they sucked it up and they got to win. They're beating quality teams at this point of the season. And after beating the Thunder, you're seeing a lot of words popping up, a lot of phrases. Watch out, NBA. Oh, whoa. This Spurs team is legit. Rudy, we're a little past the quarter point of the season now for the Spurs. We have a big sample size now. Is this team for real?
Yes. Flat out, yes. I originally had him as a 6 seed in the Western Conference, which put him in the playoffs. As of right now, I would probably move him as high as 4, maybe even 3. If you look at the top 2 teams in the West, between Denver and Oklahoma City, take those 2 teams as measuring points. As of right now, a healthy Spurs team probably is better than Denver only because of what we mentioned, depth, the depth of their roster. I think they are way more in depth than that Denver has. I think they match up with Oklahoma City. Other than Denver matching up with OKC, the Spurs are the perfect matchup against Oklahoma City. So if you're asking, are they for real? Yes. Are they championship for real? It's not quite there yet. In fact, I would say this, they probably took more than just leaps and bounds. It's probably 2 or 3 Hulk-sized jumps towards being a contending team now. But a championship contender this season, not quite yet. But again, they are the second best team in the West, even though record doesn't show it. Just by looking at a healthy Spurs squad, Jeff, they are for real. They can match up with anybody. I mean, like I said, in the next couple of weeks, I expect their defensive efficiency to be all the way at the top. So if that happens, you're looking at a very scary Spurs team.
Yeah, this team is very scary right now. They're now at full power. Right, no major names are on the IR as of this recording. Hopefully, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Before tonight's game. But nevertheless, even if a guy like Wemby has been out, as we saw, the Spurs still had enough juice to get wins, 9-3 in that stretch without Wemby. This team is deep. They're young. They push the pace. And when Wemby's on that court, their defense number, as Rudy highlighted, are off the charts. It was not a surprise that during the 12 games absence of Wemby, a lot of the defensive numbers plummeted. Go look for yourself. I mean, they were near the bottom. They were doing it with offense. They were doing it with pace. That's how they're getting a lot of the wins.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing this team grow up. You're seeing this team, as Fox said after the win versus OKC, that was a mature win. They're making the right plays. They're making the right passes. They're making the right plays. You have a young head coach, Mitch Johnson, who, as you mentioned, was brilliant in backloading Wemby's minutes restriction. That was awesome. And you're seeing him little by little get better and better and better with each and every game. He's motivating these guys. He's inspiring them. He's getting the best out of them. So check. This team is scary. You want to play half court? They can play half court with you. You want to run up and down and play downhill? They can do that too. You want to up the pace? Okay, well, Harper, Fox, Castle, even Wemby, get out there and run with the best of them. Are there still some weaknesses in the team? Sure. But one of the things that is getting better, and we saw them the last two games, they're not coming out slow at half. They actually won the third quarter versus the Lakers. They won the third quarter over the Thunder. So that's a sign of improvement. I got to see that keep continuing. But all in all, this team is legit. I think I have them as high as 3 right now. I think they're 3. The Thunder. They're a team. We'll see how they fare in the rematch in a few days. Denver, I think they're a little banged up. Right? Aaron Gordon was hurt, some of that. Recently. Yeah, he's a huge factor. But when he comes back, or if he is back, the point is that Denver can be scary as too. And Joker, he just forget it. He's just a joker right now. And then that leaves the open question: who's 3? Who's 4? The Lakers sometimes are really, really good. Sometimes they're really, really bad. But
as long as LeBron James is a Laker, they're going to be bad. I mean,
well, and also too, the Spurs exposed them in that game, that cup knockout game. They just really exposed them. Mm-hmm. Then there's Minnesota. They're a good team, but are you confident about them in the playoffs? That's what I don't understand. Yeah.
It's like the Spurs. Their Spurs weakness, let's be real, is like Phoenix, a team you wouldn't expect. The Spurs to have problems with. But again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but a team like Phoenix, they haven't played the Spurs healthy. We're going to finally see a healthy Spurs team. So some of these losses that you may have seen may not have happened had we had a healthy Spurs team. So we'll keep that in mind. We'll go from here to there and see how it all plays out. But I agree with you. Number 3 in the West, I would easily say that would probably be where I have them at. 100% they're going to be in the top 5. Top 5. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
You know what? You and I need to do a show a couple months from now, because it's going to be interesting after the trade deadline, how the West is going to look.
Oh, yeah.
So then we'll be able to see, okay, where do they rank? But yeah, right now I agree with you, Jeff. Number 3, I would put them at number 3 right now.
Yeah, they're definitely the 3rd best in the West. And the overall, I mean, look, we can't forget they started the season 5-0. We mentioned we rattle off some wins against some tough teams in their gym. All right. What they also like too, is you're getting contributions from everybody this year. Everybody, whether it's these 2 guys, Keldon and Champagnie, knocking down threes. Keldon leading the way against the Lakers, setting the tone. His role off the bench is just extraordinary. Champagnie's upped his game overall. He's a solid rebounder now. You have De'Aaron Fox, who finally gets to play with the Spurs instead of being on the sidelines after the trade, and he's contributing. He really was keeping this team afloat when Victor was out. Oh, you want some more contributions? Okay, here you go. How about a rookie? They're getting contributions from rookie Dylan Harper off the bench for scoring, with some defense, slashing. Okay, you want more? Yeah, let's keep on going. How about this guy? I think one of the biggest unsung heroes of the season is Harrison Barnes. Sure, he didn't put up big numbers against the Thunder in the win, But go look at his box score. He gave you some scoring. He gave you some steals. He gave you some rebounds. He gave you some shooting. He did a little bit of everything to help contribute to the win. So overall, yeah, this team is legit. They are legit. This is a team that no other team can circle on their calendar and be like, nah, whatever, it's a win. No, you got to bring your A game to face the Spurs, don't you, Rudy?
Yeah, you do. It's really showing it now. Oklahoma City is the best team in the league right now. And the Spurs, outside of one quarter, they fought back. They showed what they can do healthy. Hey, you've got to, this is not a Spurs team from past years. Even with Wemby there the past couple of years, teams, still were able to come in and just dominate. They didn't really take them very serious. This is a different team right now. It's a team that I made a lot of mentions before. In 25, 26 was going to be the year that it turned around for this team. You're starting to see it now. I mean, they were able to get Dylan Harper in the draft. You see the impact that he's having. But say they didn't get Dylan Harper. Say they got, a player like Campos, who they were kind of projected to get because they weren't expected to get a top 2 pick. A player like Campos would have come in and still been averaging right around 12, 13 points a game with his team with his shooting. So this team was already built. I think what it was the coaching part. You're starting to see that coaching, that great coaching team they assembled in the offseason. It's starting to pay off now, and you're seeing the benefits of it. Congrats again, front office for the Spurs. This coaching staff is amazing.
Yeah, I like how the assistants are so active. You see Sweeney, I feel like he's a head coach out there.
Yes.
On the sidelines, getting in the huddles. You've seen Corliss talking in the huddles as well. And they're really taking an active role. But overall, yeah, this team is legit. They're not a team to sleep on anymore, even though Vegas is sleeping on the Spurs tonight with the Knicks beating them by 2.5. So
it's a pick. 2.5 is a pick, man. It's a basket.
It's a basket. Yeah, it's a basket. So, but that goes to show the Spurs have, if Vegas is right, and most of the time they can be, Spurs got to play smart basketball, and we'll see if they can do that. Hopefully, my biggest fear tonight is a letdown. I don't want them to have a letdown.
That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, I'm afraid about that. But barring that, the Spurs should beat the Knicks and claim their first franchise's NBA Cup title. All right, we're saying the Spurs are for real, but what about y'all? Let us know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Let Rudy know on X at Box Score Studio. Hey, speaking of Box Score, what's that all about? Tell us about it.
So Box Score Studio is it's a rebrand. It used to be Sweep the League Network for many, many years. We decided to rebrand it, and we're doing a lot of different things. We're doing a weekly show again for Box Score Studio. We've got more shows that are be coming on board. Grading the Market is also from Sweep the League coming to Box Score Studio. So tons of stuff. Want to announce that we're working on a documentary right now for a local UTSA player. So that's going to be really, really good once that all comes out. And yeah, just be sure to go to Box Score Studio TV on YouTube, hit that subscribe button so you're not left out. And also you can catch me on the Answer Now, or the Sports Answer, which is on Answer Now TV. Go to Answer Now TV on YouTube, hit subscribe there. You can catch me on the Sports Answer every single Sunday. So just keep me busy, man.
Yeah, that you are. Way to go. Yeah, you want to get outside of stock for a while, go to Box Score Studio. See it on your screen right there. You get just more comprehensive coverage of all things sports. So go to Rudy Campos. Rudy, thank you for taking time out of your schedule.
Sure.
Here on Locked On Spurs. We definitely appreciated it. Hey, everybody else, thank you all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Free and available wherever we get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Kens 5 Plus app, YouTube. You know what to do? Become an everyday or subscribe right now. Hey, the Locked On Network, they have this new thing called the Everydayer Club. There we go. It's the Everydayer Club. It's a brand new Everydayer Club. So what does that mean? So basically what you do is you get access to members-only Discord channels. You get ad-free shows. You've got to sign up right now. There's more in the description below. Go to it. You'll see it down there. Click on that link. Go become part of the Everydayer Club. And, prove it on social media. So after you watch this show, Locked On Spurs, you just go and tag the National Locked On Podcast Network on any platform. You can secure a free month of the brand new Everydayer Club. Go check it out ASAP. You'll definitely be worth it. So we'll be back tomorrow to wrap up what happened in Las Vegas. Did the Spurs win? Cross your fingers. If they do, if they not, well, we'll just cover it all tomorrow to see if there's going to be a banner, NBA Cup banner in the Frost, because Rudy's going to be there for banner night with binoculars and
absolutely not
and putting on T-shirts that say, "Where are the NBA
champions.
champions, right?
Absolutely not, man.
Remember when everybody used to go to Academy to get the Midwest Division T-shirts?
Oh God, yeah, the Midwest Division. I can't believe you brought that up.
Division.
Yeah, it would be.
Near Spurs fans. The Spurs used to be part of something called the Midwest Division back in the day.
Who was it? It was San
Antonio,
Houston.
Dallas, Houston, Denver.
Was it Denver? I thought Denver was in the.
Utah
was in the. Utah was in it. I thought Denver was in the Pacific because there was a Pacific Division.
There was a Pacific Division. Yeah,
that was Portland, Seattle. Oh my God!
It had to have been Denver.
I don't think it was Denver.
You don't think it was? I'm gonna look it up. Let me look it right now.
Oh my God! Well, I mean, wouldn't it have been? No, New Orleans wasn't around.
No, it wasn't around. Yeah.
Oh man, this is crazy! I can't believe it
now.
It is because if I remember, wasn't Denver and Phoenix in the same division?
I mean, what is it? I'm looking right here. Let's see.
Oh man!
Actually, the Midwest Division was disbanded in 2004, 2005 because of the expansion.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, I think it was Denver. No. Hold on. We'll get it here. We'll get it right here.
Minnesota.
Minnesota was an expansion team. What was the OG?
I think it was Minnesota. I want to say it was Minnesota.
Oh my God, this is killing me now.
Are we going on overtime for the show?
Yeah, I think it was.
Midwest.
Was it still 5 teams though? Oh no, Denver was part. Remember this? The Northwest Division.
Yeah, it was the Northwest.
Yeah, Denver was in the Northwest Division. Yeah, and oh my God, was it just 4 teams or 5 teams back in the day in divisions?
Oh man, I can't remember. I can't even remember, to be honest with you. So because I looked it up, I think Minnesota was a part of
the Midwest Division.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
I think it was. You know what? I'm going to go into deep detail. I'm going to try to figure this out.
The Midwest. Yeah. They used to go to Academy, everybody, when they would win the Midwest Division to get T-shirts. And I kid you not, the Spurs used to have Midwest Division banners that they would have a ceremony as if they won the title. Like you would go to the game for the start of the playoffs and they would unveil the Midwest Division banner. That's how lowly it was back in the day before they started winning titles. So they capitalized on any type of milestone the Spurs did. But yeah, and I used to own a few of those Midwest Division T-shirts. I wore them proudly too, Rudy.
I think I owned a couple back in the day too. I'm even starting to second guess. Was it called the Midwest Division? Because it was called the Midwest. It was Chicago and Milwaukee, according to.
No, it was the Midwest Division. They had the Midwest Division T-shirts. Yeah, NBA started messing around with the division once the expansion happened. That's when everything went screwy a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, we'll look it up one day.
Rudy will figure out. See, that's what I follow him on X at Box Sports Studio. Let's go. I'll let y'all go here. All right. So don't forget tomorrow, Locked On Spurs recap what happened in Vegas. Spurs-Knicks. We'll talk all about all that tomorrow. So for Mr. Rudy, we're gonna put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.